Hello everyone, welcome back for part 2 of my update, my 90-day plan update. My overall objective, as you all will remember I'm sure, is to make customer experience one of our key differentiators. And my first goal in delivering that was to make the customer onboarding as painless, quick and hassle-free as possible. And the first 90 days I had 4 strategic activities that needed to take place. One of which was to engage with Smappily, who are the company providing the journey mapping software, which is complete. Licenses have been purchased. Russ and Ella have both got licenses, and we've got a bit of free training with them happening. We've also, as part of that, part of the activities was set up some training for journey mapping, which we completed with a company called This Is Doing, who are incredibly active in the service design space. Really great bunch of guys, and in fact one of their founders, Jerry, has agreed to come and work with us, do a bit of coaching and mentoring with Russ, Ella and myself, to help us. Once we've created the full journey map, he'll help us critique it, and then we'll do some customer research behind it. Right now everything we're doing is assumption based, so we're going to test those assumptions in the real world with our customers, which would be great. So Jerry will help us do that. Then obviously I'll be creating the full journey map. That kind of is slipping a little bit in between training as well, because Jerry's going to help us. So we're in the process of starting that. That's due to be delivered on the 21st of the 2nd, so a couple of weeks until that lands. And then finally, that's a review and agree the activities out of that and agree the improvements, which I'll be aiming to do with you guys either the last week of February or potentially, which takes us into the first week of March, into that second week of March. But yeah, we're on track. Everything's green on that first goal. KPI measures, well, we're capturing some of them. Obviously, we're not going to see much movement around NPS. And our onboarding feedback scores, again, we're not onboarding a huge number of people, so not a lot of movement in the KPI, so I won't talk about them this month. But obviously, as we progress through this and we're giving updates through the year monthly, we'll get feedback on those. Goal number 2, incident reduction. There are only, there are 3 activities behind that one. The first one is to agree the framework of how Tracy and I, or development and the service guys, are going to work together. Obviously, given what we're trying to do, it's imperative that we reduce that number of incoming incidents. Both Tracy and I are completely committed to that. The guys are together with us on, would have been, as you're seeing it now, but it's now My Monday. It's the joys of recording beforehand. So tomorrow for myself, but it'll be in the past for you guys. We've got Nick and Kieran and Deepti and Russ and Tracy and myself having a first kick-off. It's really for Tracy and I to give a brief to the guys, of them to come back. We really want them to agree between themselves exactly how they work together. That way there's a bit more buy-in, obviously, it's obvious stuff. On the back of that, I've got Nick to ring fence John Drake, and we've got another going to join in that group to strengthen the problem piece a little bit, because obviously out of the operating stuff that we pull together, there'll be a slightly more overhead in what we're delivering, because we're trying to deliver more information to make it clearer to what we're trying to achieve. And then obviously we'll be implementing that. Now, both of those dates are in one end of Feb for the agreement of the process, so a few weeks away, and then we're moving into March for both the ring fencing and the process implementation. Okay. Again, I'm not going to be reducing incidents in this month, so I won't go too deep into that. Goal 3. One of my super key ones, although they're all key obviously, but this is to create a widely used and useful knowledge base. One of the things I needed to do, the 3 tasks that were behind that one, the 3 strategic moves, was move Hannah's team, the knowledge team, in underneath the service stream. It was something that Sandra and I have talked about before anyway, It made more sense for it to be where it is, and also it helps me deliver on this knowledge base. I've had a meeting with Hannah and explained that what I'm missing within my team is not the ability to create, it's the management and the strategy around encouraging use. How do we keep it fresh? How do we keep it growing? So there's a strategy to agree there. So I've already delivered on the, I guess, number one, which is move the team to me. And then I've got number three, which is agree a strategy to deliver. Hannah's looking at that now for me. She'll present in her next one-to-one, so that's 2 weeks for me. That will be coming in again at the end of Feb. Lots of stuff going into Feb. No surprise how many times I deliver on this. And then the other thing in that one was degree and analytics to become an SME. That will come after the strategy. It's not started yet. Again, much like the problem people, there's a possibility that it might be the same group, but obviously I need to make sure I'm resourced to deliver, because it's super critical for me to be able to deliver on the consistency that I talked about over and over again in the last year. And finally, goal 4, delivering a consistent quality of service from the support desk, tied into the above, clearly, but also how do we measure that? What do we do? How do we ensure the team are delivering against that? We have some quality management in place already around quality of the language used, and the closures and what that looks like. It's a little bit loose. It's too loose. So that's part of what I need to do. There are 4 parts to this one for this first 90 days. Engage Mystery Shopper. Sandra and I spoke to Kelly from Mystery Shopper just before Christmas, actually. And I need to pick up again with Kelly, not next week, the week after, when I'm back, to see what they've gotten to in producing. They were having some thoughts around how they would work with us, what that would look like in terms of, because we want to do it not only for the service team but also for sales, to see how that worked, and also perhaps around the onboarding piece. Slightly more difficult. Engaging with us in the service team seems relatively easy and something they're very used to, and seemingly for sales as well. They're quite happy to approach another pharmacy and actually bring that pharmacy, not necessarily one of ours, under their umbrella to perform that mystery work. All quite exciting, but it needs to be done. So we've got some real outside idea of how our customers, how consistent the services our customers get. We'd obviously need to run that as well. So time is running short. There's a bit of there's a potential for some slip here, but I don't anticipate slipping past the 90 days for at least doing the service team, and potentially having one of the sales guys sort of assess through that. I need to set some expected standards. That's coming in with a delivery date actually of this week. But I'm going to shift that back because I haven't managed to engage probably with Kelly yet, so it's a bit difficult to think about that. And the final one, which is an absolute corker and absolutely necessary, I've put it in consistent quality of service because it's where we've got either repetition when we're trying to resolve incidents, so either repetition or investigation, particularly if I think about CADAMS and any other sites that have performance issues, if you like, where we're querying log files. Nick's been set a task to deliver out in week 11, some must-have tooling. This is all probably really simple stuff, and Tracy knows I've already talked about it. The ability to query log files easily and meaningfully is, rather than having to go to the dev team and employ them every time, which is insane. We're the guys doing the service at the front, so why would we have to consistently keep asking the guys in dev to repeat? So it not only becomes time consuming and cumbersome for them, it's not a great customer experience, So being able to do this much earlier on in the more complex investigations is something that I'd really really keen on, and I know Tracy because it lifts some pressure there, and it lifts pressure for me. So again, for all for bar the mystery shopper, which might slip slightly, we are very very much on track, and I'm excited to be able to tell you that. And I'll hand back to Adam. And I'm not sure how successful the video thing has been, but hopefully it's not been too bad. Have a great rest of the meeting, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.